Serious crash in Durham. A motorcycle hits the side of a city bus, leaving the rider trapped under it. What we learned about the crash from the WRAL breaking news tracker.
More comfortable weather today, but enjoy it while it lasts. When we see a return to record heat and an update on a possible tropical system.
Painting the town red. The Canes are back in Raleigh and giving Caniacs a chance to party with the Cup. The plans that are in the works for an even bigger celebration this weekend in downtown Raleigh.
Oh, and it's going to be such an epic celebration. Cannot wait for us to be there as part of the coverage. Thanks for joining us this Tuesday morning on WRAL News at the 6 o'clock hour. I'm Chris Lovingood.
And I'm Renee Chu. I love that the Canes are painting the town red. Finally, they get to enjoy. They've worked so hard. It's been such a grind. And now they enjoy all of, the championship win. We're painting the sky pink, orange this morning. Let's get to meteorologist Chris Michaels and another beautiful view, and it feels so much more comfortable out there.
It feels fantastic, yeah, and just kind of running through the color palette this morning on our sunrise cams. There's a live look at RDU, where the team just landed yesterday evening. Right now, temperatures landing in the 60s. Durham's at 64, Wake Forest 66 degrees. Southway County, Holly Springs, and Fuquay, you're at 69 degrees. But again, the humidity is nice and low, so maybe taking the dog for a walk feels fantastic this morning. Your midday lunch hour plans in the upper 70s, and then highs this afternoon will only be in the mid 80s. I almost want to put only in quotes. It's just we've been so hot recently that that's going to feel pretty good. Got more clouds drifting in this morning, maybe a stray shower toward the Sandhills. Better chances going to be closer to the coast, at least through this afternoon. But some other chances on the way later this week, and part of that has to do with a potential tropical system near the Texas Gulf Coast. I'll walk you through that potential coming up in a few. Ken?
Hey, Chris, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. Let's start with this live look at I-40 and Carytown Boulevard, where traffic is flowing nicely in all directions. It's beginning to pick up, which is expected this time of the morning, but this is indicative of what we're seeing on all of our major routes. Short of a 1-minute delay coming in from Wake Forest, but if you're coming in from Durham this morning, you're coming in from Knightdale, all delay free. We have first responders working a crash on New Hope and New Bern. I'll keep an eye on it and let you know if that's going to affect your morning commute. But as you get ready to head into the car, once you do that, tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
We're following some breaking news here in the WRAL Live Center out of Cumberland County this morning. Hope Mills Police Chief just confirmed with WRAL that 2 people were shot early this morning at around 1:15 on Racking Horse Road. Again, early this morning, 2 people were shot. There's no clear indication on what led up to the shooting as well as the condition of the victims at this time. We're working to learn more information. They say that there's no threat to the public, but we're still working to learn if they have any suspects in custody.
Laura, thank you. We are also trying to learn more about an overnight crash involving a motorcycle and a Durham City bus. The WRAL Breaking News Tracker was at the scene at Irwin Road and Cameron Boulevard. Broadcastify radio traffic indicated the person on the motorcycle may have been trapped under the bus. We are working to find out the condition of that person and what led to the crash.
We're also working to learn more about this story, Renee, a crash in Durham. And this is the one that happened at North Miami Boulevard and Braxton Street. In fact, this is video from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker just after 2 a.m. Our team was there as Durham police officers were investigating, and we also saw crime scene tape blocking off the road. We have since reached out to Durham Police and asked for more information on this. As soon as we learn more, we'll report back to you.
A pickup truck driver is facing charges this morning after the truck was hit by a train in Selma. This happened on Lizzie Mill Road just after 11 last night. The truck was pulling a trailer over the tracks when the train hit it. The driver jumped out of the truck before the train hit and only has minor injuries. Highway Patrol is investigating.
Well, the Stanley Cup celebrations are just getting started, and the Carolina Hurricanes are sharing their big victory with fans. In fact, last night, the Canes brought the cup to Glenwood South, and Caniacs flooded the streets for that moment. Let's bring in Allie Cadlebar. She joins us live outside Teats Bar on Glenwood Avenue. And Allie, this was such an epic moment. We saw the Canes that were there, fans showed up, but also the special guest of the hour.
Oh, the Stanley Cup also made its way to Glenwood South right here at Teats Bar. And you can tell there was a party here. You can smell it. And also We're kicking around some beer cans out here, so there was definitely a good time. You can also tell why the Canes picked this bar. They have the Canes signage, merchandise, and also one of the owners is a former Carolina Hurricane. So much support here. Now watch the moments that the 2026 championship team pulled up to the bar. Oh yeah, more and more cheering. Fans poured into the streets for a chance to get a glimpse of the cup. Players even let Caniacs drink out of it. Canes players Jordan Martinook posted on X for Caniacs to meet them at the bar last night to celebrate. We spoke with WRAL investigative sports reporter Brian Murphy. He was here last night for the celebrations.
This is a team that talked about the next shift, not even the next game, not even the next series, just the next shift. And it's all over. They've done what they set out to do. They've won the Stanley Cup, and now you get to enjoy winning the Stanley Cup.
And lucky for us, they're sharing that enjoyment with the city of Raleigh. A parade celebrating the Hurricanes will be Saturday in downtown Raleigh. This map shows the route. It goes down Hillsborough Street with a couple of turns around the Capitol to get onto Fayetteville Street. The parade starts at 11 a.m. and I know for sure that I'm going to be keeping a close eye on X, Instagram, all the social medias, because we got to see where the Canes are celebrating next. Reporting live in Raleigh, Ali Kathabar, WRAL News.
Yeah, I messed up. I didn't follow him on X, but now I'm gonna. WRAL will have coverage of all the celebrations for the Canes, including Saturday's parade. That's why we're planning a big broadcast for Saturday morning when the parade starts at 11. So look for details in the coming days, both on air and online.
New this morning, the Durham City Council has voted to extend its existing moratorium on data centers. Last month, the City Council approved a 60-day pause on any new data center plans. Last night, the Council voted unanimously to extend that an additional 10 months. Durham is one of many communities across our area that have enacted temporary bans on data centers. That includes Wake, Chatham, and Orange counties. The city of Durham also approved its $767 million budget last night. Now, this budget will not include a property tax rate increase. However, residents will see a 12% increase in water and sewer. Under the budget, city employees will also get a 2% pay increase.
Today, Raleigh leaders are set to get an update on the ongoing drought conditions. And this is happening as Raleigh experiences the driest start to the year in more than 140 years. The city of Raleigh has been under water restrictions for months now, and the city says most residents are, yes, following the rules. But there have been more than 350 violations tied to water use restrictions. And now city leaders are stepping up enforcement.
Having more active patrols at certain times of day, using some of our operations staff to be able to witness things like that and report those. And we do have, in some cases, the ability to read irrigation meters, so we know when those were used.
So if you think you're being sneaky, they know. And as of the latest update, Falls Lake is currently at 69% capacity for usable drinking water. And the city says phase 2 water restrictions would begin if levels drop to 60%. Raleigh water officials say this drought will likely set the record for the longest and most intense in the history of this area.
Happening today, we will learn new details about the future name of the Raleigh Convention Center, and you'll have a chance to share your thoughts this afternoon. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey joins us live from the Convention Center. Kelsey, the city is considering selling naming rights to that building.
Yes, Renee, the city is considering selling those naming rights to Atlantic Union Bank. So the home of Wake County High School graduations, concerts, and conferences could soon be renamed to Atlantic Union Bank Convention Center. Check out these renderings so you can see some of the work that's going to be happening to expand the venue. If approved, this new name would be used for a 15-year term with options to extend. You can share your opinion on whether you think that's the right move today at a public hearing. Atlantic Union Bank has already agreed to pay the city more than $500,000 up front for the naming rights, and that annual fee would go up 2% every year across the 15-year term. Construction is scheduled to begin on the venue at the end of this year and be complete in 2029. So you can share your input today at 1 o'clock. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
Democrats are calling on people to show up at the legislature today to protest a new bill that would overhaul state election laws. Republicans are expected to roll out this bill in the state house this morning. And if the bill is passed, WRAL state government reporter Will Doran says the effects would be far-reaching.
This bill would make sweeping changes to election laws in the state, dealing with everything from campaign finance to how voting works to post-election audits, plenty more. And it's already inspiring a lot of pushback. Democrats have been calling on their supporters to come and protest at the legislature today.
And our NC Capitol team will be at the legislature when the action kicks off. You can also find their detailed breakdown of the bill online at WRAL.com.
The Raleigh Fire Department is investigating after 4 townhomes caught on fire. Sky 5 flew over the townhomes yesterday afternoon, and it took around an hour and a half to put that fire out. Firefighters had to deal with breezy and dry conditions. The fire department says nobody was home during the fire, but they did pull 1 cat out of the burning building. Firefighters say the sooner they are alerted about a fire like this, the better.
The early detection prevents us from having so much to deal with in the heat and the dry conditions.
More than 65 firefighters from Raleigh and Durham responded to this. It's unclear exactly how many people were displaced by the flames.
President Donald Trump is in France this morning for the G7 summit, and this is happening as the U.S. has reached a tentative agreement with Iran to end the months-long war in the Middle East. Now, with this agreement, the president says ships are now freely passing through the Strait of Hormuz. However, some shipping companies, they're a bit hesitant to move through the waterway just yet. They're citing concerns over mines, drones, and even possible missile attacks. The Strait of Hormuz is a critical waterway for around 20% of the world's oil supply. And at the G7 summit, President Trump is expected to press world leaders for help reopening the strait. Your time on this Tuesday morning, ticket troubles. The North Carolina Attorney General is demanding answers after Canes fans reported issues with getting Stanley Cup tickets. We'll talk about how his office is getting involved.
Under investigation, California Governor Gavin Newsom says the DOJ is investigating him and his wife. Why he says he's being targeted by President Trump.
And our shout outs for your sunrise pictures, starting with Nancy Henderson in Grantham, who got this great shot earlier this morning. If you have any pictures, send them to us. Go to WRAL.com/report it. We'll be right back.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
6:15, an update on the tropics. New this morning, a 60% chance of development near the Texas and Louisiana Gulf Coast. The moisture associated with that stays to our south between now and at least most of Thursday, but then it starts to creep farther north as we head into Friday. Could actually result in a decent chance of rain by then, and I'm going to break down the latest data coming up within the next 5 minutes. In the meantime, for today, any chance of a stray shower, combining words this morning, is going to be toward the Sandhills. Otherwise, we're partly to mostly cloudy. Temperatures in the 80s and feeling pleasant, too, as you step outside this morning with dew points in the 50s. It'll feel good from start to finish today, but I'll show you when we see the chance for near record highs again coming up in less than 5 minutes.
And Chris, weather and traffic every 10 minutes. I wanted to update you on that crash I was telling you about in the last half hour. And in the last 30 seconds, the crash icon disappeared from New Hope and New Bern, which means that crash is completely cleared, not causing any problems for anybody at this hour. And really and truly, you're not seeing any delays, relatively speaking, on any of our major routes, short of a 1-minute delay coming in from Wake Forest and also similarly coming in from Durham. But all those other major routes are delay-free at this hour.
So from Ticketmaster trouble to ticket scams, Attorney General Jeff Jackson says that he is working to get answers about Stanley Cup ticket issues. You see, season ticket holders reported problems when Stanley Cup Finals tickets first went on sales. And a lot of these people say they were given priority access codes, but they also say they were bumped from lines there and the tickets were sold out by the time they were given access. Now, previously, Ticketmaster said this was caused by a high demand for tickets, and it said that it was looking into the potential use of bots. Jackson's office sent a letter to Ticketmaster asking about these problems, and so we asked him what his office is able to do about it.
We need to know what they did and what they didn't do, what they should have known, and steps that they should have taken, in part because we want to address this situation, but more importantly, to make sure this never happens again.
Now, Jackson's office is currently going over Ticketmaster's response to their questions, and he said if his office finds the company did something wrong, it would have the authority to defend North Carolina consumers.
California Governor Gavin Newsom says the DOJ is investigating both him and his wife. In a video posted to social media, Newsom accuses President Donald Trump of having a personal vendetta and targeting a political enemy. Newsom, a potential presidential candidate for 2028, says that he and his wife have nothing to hide.
In recent days, federal agents have knocked on the doors of family, friends, and former employees. Not because they found a crime, because they're simply trying to find one. They're demanding records. They're abusing the grand jury process, digging through years and years of random documents. Donald Trump isn't just coming after me because of my mean tweets. He's coming after me because I'm considering running for president.
According to a source, the investigation stemmed from a whistleblower report and does not directly target Newsom. It is looking into people connected to him over possible tax-related crimes.
Tri-River water customers in the Chatham County North District are officially under water restrictions. The city of Durham partially supplies this district, but no spray irrigation is being allowed right now. Car washing is limited to compliant commercial facilities, and no new landscape exemption licenses will be issued. The restrictions will be in effect until further notice.
It has been incredibly dry, and we really need some rain. There is some hope later this week because of this weather maker.
Yeah, and so that's going to be especially the case by Friday. Unfortunately, what it's doing right now is producing this flooding that you're about to see here in Shreveport, Louisiana. A lot of rain, inches worth, falling within several hours. So you see what resulted from that. That looks like a car submerged right there. And one of the things you don't want to do is drive through something like that. In the meantime, let's bring you back to that next weather maker, which comes through on Friday. Some high heat ahead of it and some tropical moisture with it gives us a pretty decent shot of showers and storms by Friday. Now, it does move out of the area in time for the Stanley Cup Parade Saturday and in time for Father's Day on Sunday. Father's Day looking to be the hotter of those 2 days. But in the meantime, today we get a break from the heat as we start you out with a live and cloudy look at downtown Apex. Currently temperatures mid to upper 60s. The dew point is the magic number. That is your measure of mugginess. And when it's at 50 degrees, it feels nice and pleasant. And that really is one heck of a treat to start out a Tuesday morning in mid-June. Temperatures making it into the upper 60s by 8 o'clock this morning, mid 70s by 10 o'clock, maybe a stray shower in the Sandhills. Otherwise, your morning walk or jog is going to be really nice. More clouds today, still warm, high temperatures in the mid 80s this afternoon. Enjoy that because by Thursday, ahead of that next system, you do stand the chance for record heat. Looking at a high of 99 in Raleigh, the record 98. That's what we're forecasting in Fayetteville, where the record is 102 for Thursday. In addition to that heat, there's a front to the north that produces a better chance of severe weather to our north and a limited chance here at home. That comes ahead of the system that pushes through on Friday. So let's wrap it up with your 7-day forecast. Mid 80s today. Comfortable tomorrow morning. We're in the low to mid 90s by the afternoon. Pushing record highs Thursday afternoon. Highs low 90s Friday with that heightened storm chance. But that's out of here with a fairly comfortable weekend by mid to late June standards. That parade weather for the time being looks fantastic. Father's Day 91. That's manageable heat before we see highs back in the mid 90s by next Monday. Ken?
Excellent, Chris. Exciting weekend to come. Looking forward to that. Here's what you can look forward to as you get ready to head out the door. As we look live at I-40 Garner Road, these are the westbound lanes moving away from us. You can see traffic beginning to pick up, but flowing at a nice steady clip. We're seeing very little to no delays on all of our major routes. Heading into Raleigh, you got just a 1-minute delay from Wake Forest and a 1-minute delay you're looking at coming in from Nidale and I-87. You're getting ready to head into the car, though. Tune us in on the radio. We'll keep you updated 101.5 HD3.
Ken, thank you. Stroller safety. Is your child safe when you strap them in? 5 on Your Side puts hundreds of strollers to the test. And remember, if you see breaking...
This What's Trending report is sponsored by Call Dad AC and Heating.
From the basketball court to TV stardom and a stunning upset in the FIFA World Cup.
Yeah, Ken Smith gets us started this morning on what's trending.
Yeah, we'll get to the World Cup in a minute, but NBA Finals MVP Jalen Brunson is eyeing a jump to television. The New York Knicks star wants to appear on Law & Order SVU. He and SVU star Mariska Hargitay have a special friendship. She's often courtside at Knicks games, including the NBA Finals.
Yeah, Hargitay is a longtime Knicks fan. Look at that embrace. Brunson was a key piece in the Knicks winning the first championship in over 50 years. We'll see what role he will play.
But I hope he's a good guy, though, because if you're like a guest star on Law & Order, especially SVU, you're probably a bad guy.
Well, let's see what happens. All right, we're only a few days into the FIFA World Cup, and we already have a stunning upset. Spain held scoreless by Cape Verde in that country's first ever World Cup game. A lot of credit goes to the team's 40-year-old goalkeeper. He picked up 7 saves in the 0-0 draw, and after the game, he was visibly emotional.
Understandably so, doing his job, right? It's almost like what we saw from Brandon Bussey, right? Just making sure nothing gets scored there. Spain is the current European champions, and they are considered one of the heavy favorites to win the World Cup. So it's pretty cool to see that.
Huge.
Ken, thank you.
Well, it's going to be a busy day of FIFA World Cup action today on Fox 50. You see, starting at 3 p.m., it'll be France versus Senegal, and then Iraq will face Norway at 6. At 9 p.m., it'll be Argentina versus Algeria. Your time this morning is 6:26. The Stanley Cup in Raleigh. As fans celebrate with the Canes Stanley Cup, we are getting ready for the big championship parade. What we know about the plans for this weekend.
Convention Center future. Raleigh city leaders are considering selling the building's naming rights. How this is part of broader plans to revamp the venue.
And it's a nice treat this morning as we step outside to some lower humidity. I'll show you how much longer we take advantage of that before record heat settles back in, coming up in our next half hour of news.
And here's a look at your winning North Carolina education lottery numbers.